interrupt this program with a special report.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land. So sit tight and bend an ear.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week of the Manga Monday show. Thank you all so much for clicking on us or clicking on our Spotify and doing all of that stuff. Just a reminder, if you love all things anime and manga and want to stay up to date with the latest news, reports, and events coming out of Japan, we are here. Speaking of we, I'm here with my co-host.
Edgar
is
here.
Edgar is here.
I am here.
He is here.
Click on our faces if you see it. Actually, not our real faces.
Well, we don't
but
really
our
post
animated
our faces. Yeah,
our animated faces. The logo.
Yeah.
Click on
logo.
us.
Click on us.
Do
Click
it.
on it. Subscribe, like,
Smash
do all that stuff.
any button that you see.
Follow any button. Just hit your screen.
Don't report us.
Yeah,
don't hit the
no,
report
don't do
button.
that. Don't do
Please don't do
hit
that.
the report button. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Leave comments. Do all that stuff. We love anime and manga.
Yeah.
And we would love to get
And
to
we'll
know
see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
It sounded like
That
the
sounded
ending.
like an ending. Yeah. But Edgar, how was your week, Ben?
I'm doing great.
Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to do a recap. This week on the Manga Monday show, we talk about The Mandalorian gets a new manga adaptation. Black Clover goes on hiatus.
Rip.
One Piece reaches chapter 1000 in the anime. And we talk about the future of Shonen Jump.
Dun dun dun. I don't know what
I
you
was
wanted me
supposed to do that earlier, and then I was supposed to introduce you, so I messed that up.
Oh, that makes
But
sense.
That's why I went silent, because I was about to say, and I'm here with my co-host. Yeah. Anyway, how was your week, Edgar?
It's good to be back. It's going great. We got. I mean, nothing much happened. I'm recovering from. If I sound more nasally than usual, I'm recovering from a cold / allergies. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I hate it when that happens. I'm fine now. I don't got the Rona, thankfully. But it's been going good. Reading, watching, working, studying. We got Doctor Strange next week.
Doctor Strange.
I keep thinking
next
it's-
week. Oh my god!
I keep
bro.
thinking, at least at the time of
I'm
this
so excited.
recording this, I keep thinking that it's next month in May.
Yeah.
But I'm like, next week is May.
Oh,
So we get
dude.
to see it next week.
Dude,
so
I'm so excited. Opening
super
night.
hyped.
Opening night.
Yeah, we can see it Thursday. We're gonna see it Thursday.
Yes.
So that's gonna be good.
Okay, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
I have a lot of theories for that. I keep thinking there's still high possibilities that Loki could be in it, and there's
Mhm.
also not high, but it's still probable that we could get a Deadpool cameo in it.
Yeah.
As bizarre as it sounds, but this
Mhm.
is the multiverse. The multiverse is in the
Anything
title.
can happen. Anything
They
can
in the
happen.
trailer, in the recent trailer, they confirmed the Illuminati.
Yeah,
is
the
in.
Illuminati. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Not the Illuminati you're thinking about. The comic
The
Illuminati.
comic book Illuminati with
Professor X and
Professor X,
yeah.
T'Challa, Protector Strange, all that stuff.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
Mhm.
Can't wait. How's your week been doing?
it's been good. It's just that time of the year where like scholastical wise, where everything's scholastic wise,
Yeah.
where everything is just wrapping up, and you kind of hate yourself. For a lot of it,
That's
because
me
you have
every
to
year.
write, yeah, because you have to write like a 5-page essay at
Ugh.
the last second,
Tell me about it.
which is what I did.
That's
is
when
not
your
bad.
brain like turns into like
Mush.
third gear.
Mhm.
No, like it kicks in from it.
yeah,
like
exactly.
I saw a
exactly.
video like saying like me prepping weeks for a test gets like a 47 on it, like versus me like studying the night
Yeah.
of like gets like a 70 something.
Exactly. Edgar, what are you reading? What are you playing? What are you watching? What are you
Reading all pretty much the same thing. My Hero weekly now,
Yeah,
and a lot of things weekly. I still have a lot of things that I need to pick up. It's just always intimidating when you have like so many mangas and shows to pick up.
Yeah.
Reading wise, I still have Berserk to pick up on the table. I still have Volume 1 to pick up. I bought volumes of Gantz. I was recommended that, so They're not in here. There's someone else. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at his collection.
That's okay. There's still but I still have to read those. I'm planning on reading One Piece now because there's a lot of hype behind One Piece, and we'll get to that later in this episode. But I'm planning on picking that up again from where I left off. Playing wise, I've been playing Jedi: The Fallen Order. Have you played that game, Ben?
Yes, I have.
I've actually been struck. I'm having a lot of fun with the game, but I
It's
feel
the
like
Dark Souls of Star Wars.
yeah. Okay, thank God.
It is.
Oh my God, thank
It
God.
is. It's hard.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's so hard for like no reason, and then, like every time, and I had to lower the volume, not the volume. I had to lower the difficulty like a chump because
Yeah.
the one I was at, I was like, there was 4 levels. There's a super easy one. There's a mild one, and there's like the you feel like a challenge, and there's a super hard one. I was like at the Challenger 3 one. And I thought, I was like, okay, we're doing good, but like this is so stupidly hard. Either I suck at playing video games, or this is difficult for no reason. And I look up online, like, yeah, it's more difficult than it should be. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, it's like I love Jedi Fallen Order because it does what Star Wars should do, which is it bases itself on that already extensive lore, like the Witches of Dathomir, like all of this stuff.
Yeah, I just saw like, hey,
Yeah.
those guys look like the Darth Maul guys.
yeah. If you watched Clone Wars,
I
you
haven't.
would know.
I'm not there yet. I'm going slowly, episode by episode.
Great. You'll get to the really, really good parts eventually. But and it extends. It's the first Star Wars game that I played that actually felt like The Force Unleashed. You know,
I haven't played it, but it looks awesome.
The Force Unleashed is great. You should. Some of the gameplay mechanics are archaic now, but it's really good.
Same could be said for Jedi Fallen Order. I don't think the mechanics are all that shiny.
A lot of the good old Star Wars games are archaic. Like I'm still playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I play that a lot.
Does any Star Wars game have good game mechanics? I'm trying to. Battlefront. The Battlefront games probably have
the Battlefront
the best.
games probably have some of the best game mechanics in all of first-person shooters. Yeah,
Bet they make your PS4 or Game Station go burr. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
heat it up so fast.
yeah. Oh, I was talking about Battlefront 2, the original.
Oh, the original? No,
Yeah.
I played that on the PSP. That was so much fun. That didn't make my that ran smoothly. I'm talking about the new one was like makes my PS4 sound like a jet turbine running. Like,
Yeah. But it's like the old one. I remember I used to play Galactic Conquest like daily.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
such
bro.
a good game mode.
so much fun.
Such a good game mode.
I would always play the-
I would love to get to the point where like maybe every Saturday we just chill out and like play like video games or something.
I have a
I
horrible.
feel like that'd be so fun.
I'm like console only. So
Yeah.
Ben and I mean I have other friends that he also knows. So he plays with them like constantly and is on
PC,
Twitch.
yeah.
I don't have a PC. I just have a Mac laptop and
Yeah.
a console. So I'm always like the guy left
To
out.
be honest, that would probably be enough to play Battlefront 2.
Yeah, we probably could
yeah.
still play online. It's just like it's always playing online
Well,
through
but
consoles.
if we did the original Battlefront 2, we would play it local. But yeah.
yeah,
And yeah.
I'm having fun with that. I'm also playing Kirby again still. It's so
Kirby.
much fun. I'm also struggling. Maybe it's just like a video game. It's like I'm struggling for like different reasons. I just like playing for the fun of it. I don't try that hard, but I do get frustrated
Yeah.
myself. Those games are fun. You should check them out. You play anything or?
So right now I'm watching through One Punch season 1 for the first time ever, and I think next week we'll probably talk about that.
It's a goated series.
It is a goated
The
series.
manga
It's
is amazing.
fantastic, and I'm gonna pick up the manga afterwards.
Yeah.
I have read the first chapter of Black Clover. I would like to catch up before the hiatus, which we will talk about in the news.
Yeah.
And what else? I'm still reading Vagabond. I'm just reading that so slow because there's really no rush because it's been on hiatus since 2014.
That's
So,
on hiatus too. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
been on hiatus forever.
Man, Hunter x Hunter has new friends now
Yeah,
in the hiatus club.
exactly. Well, I think this was on hiatus before Hunter x Hunter, right?
Wait, Vagabond's been on hiatus before Hunter x Hunter?
2014?
Oh man, that's so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have not a single chapter since.
Mm-mm.
Then?
It's 2014. Yeah.
Why
yeah.
doesn't anyone talk about that then? Maybe because it's not it's seinen and it's not as big as.
Well, but it is fairly big and it's pretty critically acclaimed. It's on the top 10 manga and Miami.
Why is it on
list.
hiatus? Is
But-
it also due to health conditions?
I think so, but also I think that like that guy has worked like his butt off for the longest time because he's the same one who did Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
He did some other series. So he's done like popular series after popular series. I think he just wanted to take a break.
That's so weird.
Yeah, but it's based on a book. Vagabond is. It's based off of. It's historical fiction. So it's based off of the
like
story.
Vinland Saga.
Yeah,
like you told me that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm reading. That's what I'm watching. I'm playing through Lego Star Wars. Like you just showed me a meme that was
of the droids celebrating the birthday, and then they get like a Jedi starfighter crash into them.
Anakin's starship just crashes into him. So yeah, I'm on the original trilogy right now, which is a lot of fun. But I think the prequel part is better because it's full of memes and jokes and stuff like that.
I hear there's a lot of sand jokes. A lot of sand jokes.
I'm close to finishing Elden Ring.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't.
so close. I'm at I have 80 hours in it. It's so fun. And then I'm also Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't played for a while, but I'm still playing through that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Edgar, would you mind if I go into the news?
Go ahead, buddy.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
You okay?
I'm giving you 100% an okay. Go ahead.
Well, great, Edgar, because the first one is only for you, and I put it in only for you. The quintessential
quintuplets.
Yeah.
Is that for me? Because I read that series.
The quintessential quintuplets manga gets a new bonus
Wait, are you serious?
chapter. Gets a new.
Oh, I was
yeah.
just joking
No,
because you said
it
quintessential, and I'm like,
It was quintessential quintuplets.
Oh, man.
I just couldn't get it out. The official website for the anime of Nijai Harubas. Sorry, I didn't practice.
Is that the author's name? I don't know what his. I don't know what his
Let's just
name
say
is.
Harubas. Haruba's The Quintessential Quintuplets manga announced on Wednesday that the series is getting a new bonus chapter called 122+1 that takes place after the original ending.
So you're not getting a different ending, guys, for those of you who want a different girl to win. For those,
right.
Because that's the whole point of the manga.
But it's going to be distributed to attendees at the sequel anime film.
I'll see you there then. You're gonna see me over there. I'm gonna get that. I bought a tie of one of the girls of Yotsuba, who's the girl I rooted for.
If you didn't know, Edgar is a huge fan of the series.
Yeah, this is like you can call me a degenerate if you want, but but I have I just like that series. I don't know why, and I just and I saw that there was I don't buy that much anime merch, but I saw that they had like a suit tie for each one of the girls, and I'm like, that's so cool. And I always wanted a new tie. It's green, like her color, so I just got it. It looks like a regular tie, but on the back you can see like a sewn-in image of her, so it's really cool. So technically, you could wear it to every day. But really,
without people noticing?
I'm making a desperate attempt to make myself sound normal. But technically, you can wear it whenever you want, and like you can flip it over whenever you see a fellow weeb, and like, hey, bro, check this out.
Hey, look,
Hey.
Are you a part of the secret
Are
society?
you also cool like me?
It's like the pie show from Avatar, where it's like,
a
pie,
the white
Lotus.
Yeah. Except it's way less cooler than that. But that's as weeb. That's as much weeb as I get in the anime for it. There's a lot of people like that series, and I just like it a lot. It has like really like a How I Met Your Mother vibe. Like, who they end up with, and like whatever.
Good. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for rom-coms too. So
yeah. How I Met Your Father. My girlfriend's watching that, and she says it's not bad.
I heard Robin makes an appearance in a cameo in that.
Yeah, I heard that too. I also heard she told me that there are like little things in it, like they live in
Ted and Marshall's apartment,
and they say like the two old dudes left their swords in here, so we're just gonna keep it. And I'm like, don't you disrespect them? Don't you? Because if you didn't know, me and Edgar are huge How I Met Your Mother fans. It's the only show that
I have a Barney Funko Pop.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the only show I can watch that has a laughing track anymore.
A sitcom,
that I don't like visibly cringe at, you know.
I'm with you there. I can only give passes to the ones that had a live audience. Like Friends had a live audience, and Seinfeld and Cheers had a live.
Did How I Met Your Mother have a live audience?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. Yeah.
But like I said, that's actually funny. Yeah. So that one I definitely give a pass to because.
But How I Met Your Mother is very much like an out there like show. You know, like
it was so well casted, and it was like they had such a good vibe. They just fit well together that it's such a good. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like a lucky, it had a lot of luck behind it, but it was a miracle that they found a cast that well that worked that well together.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
All right, Jujutsu Kaisen Zero film becomes the 15th highest earning film ever in Japan.
Man.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen
That's
Zero
surprised.
film has earned 13.5 billion yen, around $105 million, since it opened in Japan on December 24th, and as of Monday, the 15th highest grossing film in Japan of all time. The film has now surpassed Frozen 2 and tied in earnings with E.T., Armageddon, and get this, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, those are really high. Man, Frozen 2? Well, it is Disney, but still.
Yeah. I think this is only in Japan though.
You know, I know.
don't
A
think
lot
it
of
even touched
you'll
Frozen
be
2,
if y'all look
yeah.
up like on highest grossing films in certain countries, you'll be surprised on which ones make it to the top and which ones don't.
Yeah.
I know. I think the second country that is as much of a big fan as the MCU as much as America is, it's India.
Yeah.
They're huge Marvel
huge,
fans.
huge, yeah.
So I could imagine that all the Avenger films are like number one grossing. Well, I'm probably selling it too much. There's a lot of Bollywood films there. Obviously, they have a huge. But I would imagine that they'd be up there.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely up there. But yeah, it surpassed Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time. So yeah, it's growing. If you want to know our thoughts about that was our second episode.
That feels like forever ago.
It does, but it was only like 5 weeks ago, so it wasn't too long ago. But yeah, so we talked about that. If you just want a quick rundown, we thought it was great. The movie's great. Definitely buy it on Blu-ray, especially when it comes out. But yeah.
I'm buying it. I'm definitely buying it. Actually, I don't even have the. Is there a Blu-ray set of Jujutsu Kaisen? That sounds like a dumb question, but I've never seen one.
Probably is, yeah.
It's probably like baby pigeons. They exist, but you just never see them.
Exactly. The next one, The Mandalorian and Star Wars Visions both get a manga adaptation.
Nice.
So the May issue of Square Enix's Big Gangan magazine, Square Enix also created stuff like Fire Force, or not Fire Force, Soul Eater,
Yeah,
and
it's a perfect edition.
My Dress Up Darling. And yeah, so they're going on, and on Monday, they said that both Star Wars Visions, the anime, and the Mandalorian spin-off would get a spin-off series for the Star Wars franchise and will have a manga adaptation that will debut in the magazine's next issue on May 25th. Yeah, so it's going to be written by people who already kind of write manga and comics for Star Wars.
That's such a
Japan.
cool thing. Star Wars gets, obviously the anime technically came first. Anime and now manga for Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
It's definitely great. All right. This one is probably the biggest one of today. And I'm going to need your help, Edgar, because I just read the first chapter. Black Clover manga goes on hiatus for around 3 months, so author can prepare for the final saga. This year's combined 21st and 22nd issue of Shueisha's weekly Shonen Jump magazine revealed on Monday that Yuki Tabata's Black Clover manga will go on hiatus for about 3 months, starting with the next issue so that Tabata can prepare for the new arc of the manga. Edgar, any thoughts?
That is great, and also, man, I heard I'm not caught up with the manga. I've only I'm technically watching the anime like recently after the Elf. What's it called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty far behind.
Don't spoil it.
Not really. I know. I'm not gonna spoil it. After whatever. The point is, I'm not caught up with the manga to the dark triad arc or whatever it's called. But I'm trying to do my best not to spoil it for Ben here, who's right in front of me. But I know it left off on a huge cliffhanger, like a huge cliffhanger. And now you have to wait 3 months to prepare. And for the final arc, it's another show that's entering its final arc phase, like many others now, which we'll get into. But I'm glad you're getting into the series. I feel like Black Clover is an overlooked and underrated series, but it's also overhyped at the same time, which is funnily enough.
I feel like that's a lot of the cases for a lot of animes.
Yeah, but Black Clover, I feel like and there's no new big three. It's always like fought over and discussed like which one is the new big three gen.
We'll talk about later on. I
realize how much I'm
like recently there are 4 that are on the cover of most of the Shonen Jump. Shonen Junk. That's our series that you should check out on YouTube.
Can you imagine if Shonen Junk gets a magazine like its own thing?
No. Shonen Junk. You should check that out on YouTube. I meant Shonen Jump, which is the
real
magazine.
better one that everyone knows.
That everyone knows. Yeah.
But I can't wait for to catch up And it gives you plenty of time to catch up. You have 3 months
Yeah.
now to catch up to where the manga is at.
And that's why I'm starting it, is so that I can ride the train, the hype train, just as I did for Attack on Titan, just as I did for Dr. Stone.
I did the same for Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, exactly. But yeah, so Tabata specified in his comments that this would be the final arc. However, the wording of it could be translated as final saga, which is completely different. So sagas
Interesting.
usually contain like 3 or 2 arcs, maybe even 4 that are used in it. So it might not be the final arc, but it is definitely the final stretch of the series.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like My Hero. There's
Yep.
a lot of speculation behind of whether that will be the end of the series in general or just this, part of the series.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And I'm sure we'll go back to that when we talk about our main topic.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Next one. Crunchyroll launches its first Italian dub with the Rise of the Shield Hero, My Dress Up Darling, and Ranking of Kings anime. I just thought this was interesting. Make it more accessible to everyone.
Like,
yeah.
I know Italians already get dubs, but is this like... So this could be a dub like company sourced through Crunchyroll? Is that what that means?
Yes, so this is the first, I think this is the first time that it's exclusively Crunchyroll. So like Crunchyroll, if you didn't know, mixed with Funimation to create the biggest anime company outside of Japan.
Yeah.
And now Crunchyroll has announced earlier this month that 25 new titles will be released with a mix of English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, and Russian dubs. So I think this is going to be the first time that it's going to be this one big company that does all of it. So it looks like Crunchyroll is going to outsource itself to many different countries.
That's good. That's what a lot of Crunchyroll needs, is like to make it more accessible and like make
exactly. Crunchyroll should do all the dubs, I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
For
Quote unquote,
different languages.
quote unquote, should do all, as in like making it available for
making
like,
it. They shouldn't have a monopoly.
No.
Yeah,
That's not what I mean.
Yeah, definitely not. Because we love some of the dubs, especially from like Bang Zoom Entertainment in California, and there's another one.
Sentai
Filmworks in Houston.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. Last one. And first I have a little news article about it, and then I have my opinions on it.
Okay.
I will not
So we're going to
spoil
get facts, and we're going to not get
Yeah.
facts.
And I'll tell you when the facts stop and the opinion starts. One Piece anime reaches chapter 1000 in the anime. Episode 1015.
Okay.
Yeah, the One Piece anime has reached chapter 1000, episode 1015, which
Oh.
aired last week and was titled Straw Hat Luffy, the man who will become the king of the pirates, which directly parallels the first episode's name, I'm Luffy, the man who will become the king of the pirates.
That just sounds like wording.
Pirate,
They just
sorry.
reworded it a bit
Yeah.
while keeping the same title.
Exactly. Now, when I read One Piece, I caught up at chapter 1000, and it was a feat to behold.
There was a lot of hype behind it.
It was the perfect chapter to end my mission on. I read because Asal was like, my friend Asal was like, chapter 1000 comes out this weekend, so I read like 50 chapters to make sure that my final note was chapter 1000. And it was amazing. It was fantastic. But here's my opinions on the episode. Very rarely do I. So I'm very amazed by a lot of animation, right? I watch animation, I'm like, whoa, this is great.
It's moving.
Yeah, exactly.
It has color.
But and I always see it as an artistic form. There's a lot of people who think it's only for kid shows and who will continue to think that for the rest of their lives, and whatever, that's fine.
Go cry in a hole.
Yeah,
Go
away.
Let us have fun.
Exactly. But there are very rarely times where I see animation and I go, we have just reached a new milestone. There is a new stepping stool. What am I talking about? I'm talking about things like Demon Slayer, where you watch Demon Slayer and you're like, this is anime from like 2040, and I'm watching it right now in 2022, which is amazing. Another thing was Dragon Ball Super Broly, where there was there wasn't a single bad frame in that movie. This
Bet
episode,
I can find one.
Yeah, that you can find
No,
one.
no.
This episode, and I haven't been the nicest to the One Piece anime. I think the One Piece anime,
Or Toei Animation.
yeah, Toei Animation as a whole. I love the anime. I think it's great. However, I do think it has major pacing issues, which get people which get people
Turned off by
turned off from One Piece. Like you see a whole bunch of people saying getting into One Piece is a nightmare, but I don't think it. I think if you read the manga, I think it's not that big of a problem, but
at least not as much as the anime.
Yeah, exactly. But this episode, oh my God,
it's one of those episodes. Again, I have no context of it, and I
Yeah.
have no idea what happens in it, and I don't want to spoil myself. But it is one of those episodes that I will mark down. Like when I get to the manga, when I read this chapter, I'm gonna make sure that I watch the anime.
Yes.
At least there's a lot of moments in that One Piece that I've marked down that like I have to fully experience it, like with my ear holes too. Like
Yeah.
I gotta really get into this because like as much as original and like the manga did it first and like experiencing that, but like it's that big to where I have to do that.
is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely is. And the animation, so most episodes, so I said before that animes should use title cards more as a storytelling basis. I think My Hero is one of the best with title cards, right? We talked about earlier in
I don't know.
Shonen
I mean,
Jump. Well,
isn't there like one where like they spoil a character dying in the episode?
which one?
Isn't
In
I don't
My
know.
Hero?
No, in One Piece, isn't there
No,
like?
I'm talking about My Hero, right? One
Okay.
Piece has the worst title cards,
Oh,
like
okay,
Dragon Ball.
Okay.
But I'm talking about like in the 4th season finale when Endeavor like beats up the Nomu and it has the title card at the end of the episode and the title is called His Start. I think that's a great way to further your storytelling, to further like save the title for the end of the episode. I think that's great. Usually One Piece episodes start off with dun dun dun, Zoro dies?
Usopp
Question mark?
dead.
Usopp dead? Or Luffy new transformation?
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball does that too. So bad that yeah, exactly. It's so bad. It's like when Goku turned Super Saiyan, it was like Goku, the legendary Super Saiyan, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's so bad that
Imagine Avengers Endgame, just like Avengers Endgame. Tony Stark dies. Like
Captain America picks up Thor's hammer. Anyway,
Ant-Man tries to jump into.
no, stop. But anyway, so this episode, the way that it was tiled was directly paralleled the first episode, and it did not spoil it, which I thought was amazing. So the episodes usually start with music that's like dun dun dun. But so after the Toei Animation logo happened, it was eerily quiet, and it was just the title came up slow. And
did it do the credits? Did it do like the thing where the credits are like showing like
where it just like showed up, and it was the voice actor saying, "I'm Monkey D. Luffy, the man who will become the king of the pirates," and it faded away. And what transpired was this beautiful celebration of One Piece. Was this beautiful? Oh God, it was so good.
Would you say this is the best episode in anime so far?
Yes, because it was the only episode that I watched and I was like, this is better than the manga. It was the only, in my opinion. Here's what I think about One Piece's anime. What really frustrates me is not filler episodes. It's not having single canon episodes. It's when you mix the two, so that you have to watch the filler, because you have to watch because this is what Toei Animation does. They give you a canon episode and sprinkle some filler in there, and then you're like, well, now I have to watch.
I
this,
personally hate it. They do that with Naruto, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah, and you're like, bruh, please, But this episode, it did stretch it, it did elongate it, but it was the only time where I was like, yes, make it longer.
I heard it elevated it.
It
so
definitely. And there was this specific like cut that they did that I was just like, oh my God. So no spoilers, but Luffy remembers.
Whoa, Luffy! No,
Yeah, no.
Too much, man.
Yeah, but Luffy remembers the part, like this whole saga after the time jump, in my opinion, is the second act of the story. He remembers the entire second act, and he remembers meeting the people that he agreed to do this thing for, and then it was like he was standing in front of them, and then it was bright and sunny, and then immediately cut, and it was dark and red, and they were on the floor like dying, and he was like down right there, and it was so sick. And he, oh God, and at the end the animation kind of looked like kind of looked like the new Dragon Ball Super movie. Like the way Luffy, because at the end of the episode, Luffy says, which he says all the time, "I'm Luffy, the man who will become the king of the pirates."
It's like Austin saying I'm gonna be the Wizard King, or Naruto saying I'm gonna be
Yeah.
Hokage, or like literally any other MC shonen character saying what they're gonna be at the beginning of the
Exactly.
story.
But it was a feat, and One Piece is a feat of storytelling. If you're listening to this, read One Piece. I understand it can be a nightmare, but I understand getting to what I'm going to say is a hard ask, but get to chapter 100 and you will be hooked. If you love anime and you love manga, I can almost guarantee
I'm with you
that it's going to be great.
Those who are listening, I'm with you on that boat too. I'm still I'm at least piqued and interested as somebody who's annoyed by all the One Piece fans and the One Piece fandom saying, "Oh, you gotta read One Piece. You gotta watch One Piece. There's only like 1,000 chapters. Or like it gets good after chapter 300. I swear." Yeah. So as someone who definitely relates to that entire crowd, I can say that I am definitely piqued and interested. I mean, it's something normally when you have a series this long, like it's like when you think of Grey's Anatomy, like bro, everyone knows it's garbage. Everyone knows it sucks. You're like, why are you stretching it out this long? But like after this many episodes and chapters, people haven't been doing anything but praise and like and just like reading it and like getting it hype up after chapter after chapter. So clearly they're doing something right that would seem impossible. So
definitely.
I'm definitely interested, and I'm really looking forward to that, which made me want to pick up the manga now because I'm like I gotta know what's going on. Like, you know what I mean?
But definitely, and if Toei Animation continue this, because this isn't even the best part of the story. In the next 10 to 15 episodes, there is something that is
I know
big that is coming.
I'm not spoiling it, but I know that these recent chapters in the manga where it is at, it is like absolutely
and
game-changing.
If Toei Animation continue this, they are going to repeat what they did in the 80s with Goku turning Super Saiyan.
You think they'll top it? Like, you think that'll be the best episode in One Piece?
Yeah, definitely.
Or do you think it'll be the best episode, topping that episode over the transformation in Dragon Ball?
I think so. I truly think so, because here's the thing. The themes of One Piece, like transformation, should always have the importance. Everything, you need to earn the trope. Everything that happens in the story has to lead up, has to swell, has to climax at that one moment, and then he transforms. But everything to One Piece's lore, to One Piece's history, to One Piece's themes and characters all lead to that one moment that I'm talking about. And it is a feat to behold, and it might be, it's fantastic. But anyway,
to sum up, One Piece is mid.
Yes.
No, but before we close the topic, or before you continue on it, I've seen like the worst of this this episode. The worst end of this topic spawned a lot of awful like arguments on Twitter, which I shouldn't be on as much. But I would imagine that it's also on YouTube.
What are you doing
comments
on there?
It's also like everywhere else that people are like arguing, where like people are like instantly trying to bait into people fighting each other. It was like, oh, this beats that Demon Slayer episode. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I know where this is going. And people was like, oh, One Piece sucks. Oh no, this is better animation than Demon Slayer. Oh no, what Demon Slayer is garbage. Doesn't have a story. Animation carries. I'm like, guys, can we just get along?
I think
can we
the
just
animation is great. I don't know if it beats Demon Slayer, but that's just,
well, you heard it here, folks. From a One Piece fan. Like, I was thinking that too. Like,
I don't think One Piece. I think it could. I think
it definitely could,
but I don't think a weekly show can ever reach the height of an animated studio who's doing it seasonally.
Yeah, I think
it's unfair.
Yeah,
basically.
I think Demon Slayer. I don't think the animation carries. I think it just brings out a lot of what Demon Slayer is doing already. Yeah. I think the highest, its strongest point might be the animation, but that doesn't mean that it's carrying. Yeah. It's doing all the heavy lifting. But I can say for certain, even someone who knows nothing about One Piece, I can argue that definitely what makes this episode so great is because it has such a strong foundation of a story already. And when it gets any fraction of a concentration on animation wise, when they not like saying actually try, but when they put more effort than usual, it's guaranteed to be regarded as one of the best episodes in the show because of its already great story getting an even better than usual animation.
Yeah, definitely.
But it did spawn a lot of garbage arguments.
Yeah,
You get that so many times with anime
Yeah.
in the anime fandom. It gets so annoying. I'm like, guys,
Yeah,
y'all suck.
I just don't understand why Toei Animation took so long like to make the animation look like this. It's not like One Piece is the most popular comic book on the planet, you know. Or
You know
something like
what's
that.
funny?
Yeah.
And this is like a quick tangent, but I was looking at the Crunchyroll YouTube channel on all the anime. I'm pretty sure every single anime that I've seen, there's a Crunchyroll what do you call it? Watermark on the videos, except for the One Piece ones. There's a Toei Animation watermark, no Crunchyroll one.
Really?
That's weird. So I'm like, maybe it just goes to show how Toei protective they are. They're like, no Crunchyroll. This is our show. Like you're not gonna put like your Crunchyroll ad, but it's just so funny.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you won't find the Crunchyroll watermark on like every other video.
Yeah.
You'll probably get the same thing with Dragon Ball, but you only see the Toei Animation watermark on that.
Yeah.
I just find that funny because I did see like a few seconds of the clip of this trending like absolute. I can imagine that the views is like in the millions now of the new episode. I saw a clip and I saw like the Toei Animation watermark there.
Damn.
That is just really funny.
Dang. Yeah. And of course, in typical Toei Animation fashion, after I went, wow, this episode is great, I'm going to watch the recap and I can't wait for next episode. Or I can't wait to watch the teaser for next episode. And of course, in Toei Animation style, it's a recap. It's titled Zoro and Sanji. We love them. Here's their story all throughout.
Wait, they're
Wano.
recapping. They're gonna have a recap
They're
after
gonna
this.
have a recap episode. Yeah.
Why?
Well, it makes sense because I think they should turn the show into a bi-weekly show because I don't think they can do that animation every week. You know?
I just don't think that kind of strategy, or not strategy, just that kind of way of doing things in the anime doesn't work anymore. A lot of people, at least some people might argue against this, but a lot of people don't like filler anymore. They can't tolerate recaps anymore. I definitely can't. This is the reason why I have such a difficult time watching through the Naruto series. And as I mentioned before, just getting through the OG Big 3 animes is like absolute garbage cancer to go through. The story and like the actual content that it has is a different thing, but like, how did you guys watch that stuff? Obviously, you were watching it when you were growing up, but like going back to it, me who's never seen a Big 3, going through that is like an absolute nightmare because you get fillers and you're like, what's the point? Like what is the absolute point if this is gonna be like
no, definitely it is the worst, and I think when One Piece ends, that will be it. That will be the end of the weekly show, like, because One Piece is continuing on something that they did in the 80s and the 90s, which was just pump out as many shows as they can, as much content as they can. But nobody.
I'm not gonna applaud, but I'm gonna be impressed by the balls of whoever tries to make as many chapters or episodes as One Piece does, because that's just, I don't know how, man. I don't know how you do it. Not even if the story wasn't as good as it is, because just all these years of hard work and not taking big breaks. Oda, like, Jesus, like, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. I think when One Piece is done, he retires and there's nothing else after that.
Can you imagine he announces another series after that?
One Piece Z.
2 Piece.
2 Piece. One Piece Shippuden.
Luffy. Oh no, wait, Buffy. Buffy Next Generations. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The Vampire Slayer. Yeah, God, that would be hilarious. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that. It was a feat. It was just an awesome, awesome moment to be a One Piece fan and an anime fan in general. But let's move on to our main topic. Shonen Jump recently has been having a lot of series end and a lot of series near their close. Yeah. So for the people who don't know, Dr. Stone ended this year. Demon Slayer ended last year. Demon Slayer ended in 2020. Haikyuu ended in 2020. This year, so far, right, we have Black Clover going into its final arc. My Hero Academia is already in its final arc / maybe 2 arcs. Jujutsu Kaisen, Gege Atsusuma, plans to end it next year.
Yeah.
Right? And then One Piece, yeah.
10 more years, baby.
10
Let's
more
go.
Oda says he plans to end it in 5. I'll give him 9. I think he's gonna end it in 9. But so the main 4 that are on the front of every Shonen Jump. Go watch Shonen Jump.
You're really trying to push this. Trying to push the YouTube channel's videos.
Gosh darn it.
Shonen Jump.
Shonen Jump is Luffy, Itadori, Deku, and I forget his name in Black Clover. Who's the main guy?
Asta. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I mean, and it's not always cemented because there's a Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. There's a lot, but those are like.
Well, recently those are the.
Oh no, yeah, recently because Demon Slayer's been done. Yeah,
because
you're
Demon
right.
Slayer's done, so they can't
Yeah,
put
you're
it
right.
on.
You're right.
So those are the 4 at the forefront, and they're
Yeah.
all entering their final arc except for One Piece.
Yeah.
You know,
One Piece is. It's like, man, you know that meme like with the people sitting on the hill, and then like it's just one guy and there's graves next to it. It's like One Piece.
The regular show meme.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Yeah, where it's just like him skips by himself, but except instead of skips, it's like Luffy from One Piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
But we are gonna talk about, because it almost all of it is ending. My Hero Academia, which has caused a massive resurgence in normies entering the anime field in pure interest. The reason why I'm here right now and loving manga and wanting to become a mangaka and voice actor is because of My Hero
I would
Academia,
argue that
you know?
One Piece is. I mean, I'm trying to preface this before I say what I'm about to say. One Piece is obviously, objectively, from some like me, is definitely objectively a better story and a bigger fandom, a more supportive, huge fandom that isn't as toxic as most.
Yeah.
But I don't think One Piece and Luffy are as big as they used to be in the normie spectrum right now. At least to people,
no,
I think
definitely
Deku and My Hero are the forefront because of how popular and how many people have gotten into anime because of that anime, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So like, you could say he's the face right now currently of the Shonen Jump. I'm not arguing like whether he's the best or whether that is true, but you have to you have to see it that way because that's just
I think
that's how
it's tied with him and Itadori. I
Yeah.
think him and Itadori show up.
They're just super popular. They're just super easy series to get into, and it's just obviously numbers wise, you could like. There's a lot of One Piece fans, and there might be more. It's just like in terms.
Luffy's always in the front.
Yeah.
We're not saying Luffy isn't in the front of every Shonen Jump magazine. He obviously is, but here's what we're talking about. One Piece will stay for a while.
Yeah, so it's kind of like he's always been there, but he's not what's new.
Safeguard,
so it's like it's always gonna be there. So you kind of forget, or you kind of like you stop kind of hyping for him, like, hey, he's on the cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like when One Piece ends, like this talk we're gonna have times 1,000, because without that character in the forefront of Shonen Jump, I don't know.
Because Goku's not there. Ichigo from Bleach, I think that's his name.
Yeah,
I don't know. Ichigo from Bleach is not there. There's just like Luffy has been there through thick and thin all the way through. He's like the big OG. He was in the big 3, and to go back to what we're saying, Deku and all these characters for these series have been at this forefront for like years now. And by years we mean like relatively around 2016-ish, around those years, around that era, which seemed like not that long ago.
Yeah.
But they're a big series, and it has been, years since they started. So the fact that you might not be seeing these faces in the years to come, most likely within 2 years, these series might all end.
Within 2 years, I guarantee within 2 years, none of these guys will be on the face, except for maybe Black Clover, because we don't know if it's Saga or Arc. But My Hero will be finished. But let's talk about sequel series, right?
Yeah.
Because we know My Hero Academia. I can guarantee you My Hero Academia won't be finished. I'm pretty sure it's gonna jump into a new series called like My Hero or something, or like My Hero Evolved.
Ben and me discussed this, and he's argued. Well, not argued, but he's told me that at least how you seem to think that'll go is that this will be the end of Deku's academia. His school phase, and what we'll see next story wise is him being a pro hero.
Yeah.
And we get to still see, the main cast, but it'll be like a different saga. It'll be literally Shippuden of My Hero,
and
so to say.
My thinking is that it'll mostly focus on the quirk demolition theory?
The quirk the
doomsday quirk theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the theory that suggests that quirks will get ridiculously stronger and more out of control to the point to where it'll cause an apocalypse in the world.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, super interesting.
Which
they
is
mention
interesting
it
because
a lot,
Japan is already in an apocalypse in My Hero.
Like how worse can it get, guys?
Exactly. But I do think there are a lot of things, and it doesn't have to be about Deku. It can be about many different things. Maybe touch on America.
I would love to see a series with Eri.
Yeah.
What's the kid's name from season 3? With the pointy hat. Something.
Toe.
Toe. No.
We'll just call him Toe.
No.
No, let's just call him Toe.
No, I'm just gonna. No. I'm gonna look this up because I'm.
I know the guy who punched Deku
Bakugo
in the balls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then Bakugo. Yeah. My hair could be.
No. He touched Deku.
He
Deku.
Jesus.
He punched Deku. But yeah, I don't know. I think it would also be interesting.
Koda.
There you go.
There's Koda and Natsu. I don't know, the kid from also the movie.
The movie,
like,
yeah.
I seen there's a photo. There's not a photo. There's a picture that was drawn by someone, an artist, them growing up because they're all three of them would be inspired by Deku, which I think is super cool. So I think if they were to, pick a new generation, like those three would be the forefront, and then Deku would be like the All Might in that world, and we could still get to see like adults, and you do that. I think it would be like a natural way of like to continue the series.
Yeah,
that'd be great to see.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know how I think about Deku being the All Might of that world, because I think the whole reason for My Hero has been like change and how the society is kind of messed up. Like, I swear to God, if after this it's like Deku's the #1 hero in the magazine thing, I'm like, obviously we shouldn't be hyping up heroes as much as we are.
Yeah, there
in
is
this
a
society.
Yeah,
because that's where a lot of the problems has come from.
Yeah. In the My Hero world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I also think maybe just doing spin-offs. Like, how awesome would it be if we got like a spin-off of maybe somebody like Sero? Like
he's just Horikoshi's favorite character.
Right? Yeah. So like, I think it would be interesting maybe just getting like the side characters some limelight, and then maybe doing some main.
I like to see some Class B love, some Monoma. I love Monoma, man. I like his
Monoma's
character.
Great, yeah.
I don't know, like
I love Tetsu. He's great.
Yeah. I just like to. Spinoff would be nice, and I get to see like a different character and perspective.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a big successful spinoff anime manga show. I know. Maji or Sinbad or whatever that series is. I know that has a spinoff.
Vigilantes is pretty.
Oh yeah,
pretty big.
Vigilantes.
Yeah.
And there's another one. I know Rent a Girlfriend has one, but that's not shown. That's not. I mean, at least that's not in Shonen Jump, and that's not like that's completely different.
What is a good spinoff? I mean, there's been small ones like the Ace novels, from that Boichi did. Dragon Ball Dragon Ball doesn't have one.
I'm trying to think.
There is a Dragon Ball manga called The Time I Was Reincarnated as Yamcha.
Would you? Yeah, if you count Villain Saga as historically accurate, could you argue that Vagabond is a spinoff of Villain Saga, or that Villain Saga is a spinoff of Vagabond because they're in the same world?
They're in the same world.
That's realistic. Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yes.
The realistic.
Yes, I do.
The realistic cinematic universe.
The realistic, and then at the end
Thorfinn and whoever the character is, Vagabond, like team up.
They team up. Like, I don't know how would they team up? Their bones are brought to the same place in the modern.
Yeah, because they're in different generations, right?
That's hilarious. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, but I'm just it just doesn't happen, and if it were to happen, obviously, Boruto. That's like the obvious one.
Boruto.
But we overlook that because you always hear about it.
But
so
is Boruto? You talked about successful. Is Boruto?
Yeah,
argument.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is the biggest one to be around. The anime I've heard is awful because of how much filler.
Yeah,
I heard the manga is somewhat decent, and so one could argue that it's successful there. I have no knowledge of it. I haven't read it. I heard the manga is good. but I just hear garbage about the anime.
I've never seen or read Naruto, but when I do, I will jump on the Boruto hype train.
But
and
it does
see,
seem unnecessary when it comes to spinoffs, because it does seem like really, do we need it? You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess Dragon Ball Super is a spinoff too.
Yeah. Korra, but that's not. I mean, that's not
Korra,
anime.
yeah, Korra is
Legend
a
of
spinoff.
Korra.
Yeah, Korra is the biggest example probably of spinoffs.
But it also counts as a sequel. I mean, it's hard to determine what's a spinoff and what's a sequel because spinoff. Cars 2 seems more like a spinoff than a sequel.
Yeah, it does. Because it's more about Mater. Yeah. But anyway, so there is the possibility that there is going to be a second series for like something like My Hero. I don't know if there's going to be a Black Clover spinoff. Like I said, I don't know about it.
One can argue that you can always make a spinoff for any of these shows or continuations.
And then Jujutsu Kaisen's just finished because Gege's like, I'm going to take my money and leave.
And he's in not the greatest condition right now.
Yeah.
He's been taking frequent breaks, and he's always, talked about in the Shonen Jump author comments, he's mentioned like here and there that he's not feeling too great. He's like, it's just not good, and like I'm really worried for him.
Yeah, me too.
That's why I really advocate for these breaks that happen. I mean, sometimes it's frustrating because like you don't get your series weekly, and you don't get to read your chapters, but they really need it. They really, really do.
With how big these guys are, I'm surprised that because like you look at them, and a lot of them just try to do it themselves. I really think that these people should have teams. Should have like assistants who
should be unionized.
Exactly. Yeah, it should be.
They'd probably hang us if we said that in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. It should be, but it should. But definitely like working yourself. I don't think any work is worth working yourself to death. Yeah. I don't think there is any reason to do that.
Even with assistance, it could still be super difficult.
Exactly. But I understand if they want to do it themselves, that's fine. But it's just so sad to see them. Like, there was this one chapter I read of One Piece where Oda was like, oh, my doctor said I need to get out more, otherwise I'll die. Ha ha ha. And I'm like, what are you doing?
As much as Hunter x Hunter gets joked on about its hiatus, seeing those... Jujutsu Kaisen had a similar... I just realized had a similar experience. And with Hunter x Hunter, as the chapters were getting... When they were getting released weekly, when they did, or at least frequently... there were some chapters that were just not, objectively that weren't good. That
weren't finished, yeah.
Yeah, or they weren't finished, or they just looked like drafts. And he was in the worst condition ever, and he was saying, I can barely even, guys. Like, I really can't. And you could see this in the volumes. If you buy the volumes, he like mentions it here and there, where he just, he says like little comments, and he mentions notes of what's going on with his life. Sometimes he just doesn't say anything, and he had to redo them, the chapters that were released. And I heard that there was something like that happened in Jujutsu Kaisen with its chapters. There was
there was a chapter that he couldn't finish, so instead they released the draft of it. Yeah. And I thought it was a stylistic choice at first until somebody told me no, he couldn't finish it, and I was like, oh my god,
it was that bad.
It was when he took like that 2-month break. But yeah, so obviously these authors' healths are, like, we're talking about the future of Shonen Jump. Is the future, Edgar, is it more of a style like how people did Dr. Stone with an illustrator and a writer? Or is it more like how somebody does a Marvel comic, Yeah. Like, you have an illustrator, and then you have the main illustrator, and then you have the main writer. But then within those spectrums, you have like assistants who have specific pages that they have to work on, people who color it in, people who do all this stuff, so that it helps you get to this point in time.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, some series already have it that way, where assistants and like other people just simply sometimes they'll take over the entire chapter while like the main guy directs how it'll go, because that's usually how it goes, especially even with editors, because mangas have their own editors. And I feel like in the future, I hope we just see more. And how I think it'll start going. I feel like people are starting to take breaks. They're starting to accept them with breaks. And this is different from filler, and better than filler, like in anime. Right. They would take breaks because not only are they well deserved, but they just like give a bit of a rest with the binge. Because anime, when it comes to anime and manga, it's like not only is there so much content, but it's like so much to the point to where it can seem like overwhelming, and there's no real this time for discussion, and I don't know. I don't know where I'm really going with this, but like, they definitely are needed. It happens with Spy Family and Kaiju number 8, where like they take frequent breaks often.
Yeah.
And
Chainsaw Man takes massive
that's
breaks.
the perfect example because
That's another great one because when Chainsaw Man does come back, it will be on the front of Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump.
Yeah, because he's taking an entire break right now. Whether he's working on that, either way, he finished like the 97 or so chapters, ended it there. Like, this is my first arc. Now I'm gonna take a break, and then later I'll start working up for the next part. And
I'm sure it's gonna come back when the anime ends.
Yeah, and it's really no. The part 2 was start this summer.
Heck yeah, dude. Let's go.
So
let's go.
That's great, but
so it's gonna ride the waves of the anime.
But you're starting to see a trend and pattern with how people are reading and publishing these series, that they're allowing these types of leeways and rests for these authors who definitely need it and deserve it.
Definitely.
And I hope for that in the future. If not, get more people to help out with those mangas to publish them, at a fast, but reasonable rate still, because we still want those series to come out frequently.
Definitely. I think that the time for making manga creation and manga stories is becoming more and more accessible, right? Because in the 80s and 90s, they had a lot of big series, but you really had to be a talented son of a gun to do that, to do all that writing.
Probably was just yourself back then, at least for the most part, for most series.
Yeah, definitely. But I also think that to create a really great series, unless somebody's an absolute genius like Oda, I do think it does take some collaboration. It does take some people, because like one of the best arcs in Dragon Ball Z is the Cell arc, right? Or the Android Saga. And that happened. The reason why that happened was because why Cell was the main villain of that arc was because the editor saw his first set of villains, who were the old guy and the clown. And he was like, he was like, these are an old guy and a clown. Let's bring on the real villains. And then he brought in Android 17 and 18 and Android 16. And he was like, what is this? He was like, these are just a couple of teenagers. Bring on the real villain. And then he brought on Cell.
That's good.
And that's why it became, so
it's
great.
It's a good thing you pushed them that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
No, give me something real. Like, give me something juicy.
And his editor eventually, Akira Toriyama got sick of him and like released him. And that's probably why the Buu saga wasn't as good as the other Dragon Ball Z sagas.
You should have kept them around, buddy.
Yeah, maybe you should have. Yeah,
a good thing.
Definitely. But I also don't think Akira Toriyama wanted to end it at Cell, but Shonen Jump was like, please continue.
Please, we need the money. We have nothing else.
Yeah, and he was like, okay,
What do we got? This pirate anime, like this pirate manga series, called Luffy. Get out of here. That's not gonna go up.
Yeah, exactly. But so
it's just shocking to see all these series, and they got Black Clover, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Tokyo Revengers, and Twin Star Exorcist, and a few more that you probably can't think of. There's just so many, and when you look at this, you're like, what's next? What's going to carry the future?
Yeah, is it Edgar? Is it things that are more creative, more that turns towards, styles from all around the world? Because as we've talked about, and as I've said before, manga and anime is so big that it has its own genres within it. So we're seeing it right now. What's the biggest thing of this season? Spy Family. When was the last time you saw a good spy television show like ever? When was the last time we saw a good spy movie?
Since like Skyfall and James Bond.
Exactly.
That came out like years ago.
Exactly. And like the old Mission Impossibles, maybe,
Yeah, but those always feel like heist movies more than spy movies. Yeah. But I get your point.
But this is a new genre. This is something different. Is the new generation of manga and anime going to be this experimental process without maybe a huge emphasis on the battle shonen manga,
We got Blue Lock.
Blue Lock.
We got Kaiju number 8, which is still like battle.
Oh yeah, Blue Lock is coming.
Yeah, Blue Lock.
Blue Lock isn't Shonen Jump, I don't think.
No, it isn't. But I don't know if I'm wrong on this. I don't know where it is.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, but it is up there with like new series and manga, and it is definitely popular. And it is.
Yes.
And it doesn't even have an English Volume 1 yet. So when that comes out, it's going to get rated. Just like Kaiju number 8 was super hyped. That's on the Shonen Jump Plus, technically, not Shonen Jump Weekly.
Yeah.
But it's still in that branch along with Spy Family. I know the author for Hell's Paradise has a new series that I'm reading. Aoshimon is on Shonen Jump.
I need to read that.
Isn't that
Hell's Paradise was fantastic.
It's also up there, so it's not like we're getting and we like we said, it's not ending now. We still have a year or two of these series to keep going, but it's just when they end, we're not going to be empty-handed. It's going to be like a different change. I've never experienced this for someone who's been who's gotten new into anime.
Yeah,
I started seeing anime and reading manga around 2013, but I didn't really get into it until 2016, and that's when a lot of them started. You had My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen started, the manga at least started around then. A lot of these series started around then, and now it seems like we're coming to the close, at least that I'm experiencing, like the first phase that I've noticed of a big era to end in Shonen Jump, and it's just like it's an eye opener, and it's not only going to change on terms of content, but in how things are being run in that industry for the better. I hope.
Which is fun for us because one of my big dreams is to release a manga series.
Yeah,
you know?
We hope that it'll be welcoming for us to be there,
especially us.
And I hope they are open for people who aren't Japanese or people from around the world. I know Boichi's Korean.
Boichi is Korean, but I think we're probably gonna need to nail Japanese before we get on over there.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think that my big dream is to have two head writers, you and me, or one head writer and one head writer working on their own series, and have a group of illustrators, a group of people working on this, so that week in, week out, they don't feel like you're like, okay, you handle this, you handle this, you handle this, and they collaborate together so that they don't feel like they're,
I feel like that is a thing. It just definitely isn't as, vocal out there. At least it's not as big as it should be. Because even the biggest, I remember seeing, there's a video on YouTube where it shows the author mangaka for Rent a Girlfriend. He has like 3 or 4 guys helping him.
But they barely do much.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of, like, most of them go and get him coffee,
Yeah. Well, they draw. I've seen the video. If you see the video, they still help him out a lot. And it's a lot of work. And it seems like enough, but sometimes it just still isn't, even with all that help. So,
but it would be hard. So what I would do is probably I would find 2 head illustrators and then like 3 assistants, and then those 2 head illustrators
find other assistants.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a pyramid scheme, but where Ben doesn't do the work and then
everybody else does. Yeah, no, but and you would just need to find 2 illustrators with eerily similar, art styles. With
you usually have to do that.
Yeah, you would have to find a way.
I'm always worried about that, like where I would design a character and then somebody like, all right, you'll handle this while I focus on writing the story, and then he draws the character design like that looks nothing like him. So like I wonder how often that happens in a mangaka.
Exactly.
In the industry.
But I would love to be, I would love to be, because I love the anime industry. I love the manga industry. I love the groups of people that come with it. I want to be ingrained in this, in this group.
You want in?
I want in, and I want to be, I want to eventually become a producer of manga, because I think there are many, many ideas. Because I just read Manga Theater by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
All of those ideas sound really, really great and really, really fantastic.
They were just rejected, right?
Yeah. Obviously, he eventually got to Dragon Ball, which was the big thing.
This is what he's talking about is a collection of stories written by Akira Toriyama.
Yes.
And you are able to purchase it in the manga stores.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting.
It is very interesting. But I think that there are plenty of young people and plenty of illustrators out there who have the ability to do this, but just aren't from the right places, or aren't, or just don't know the right people, or just aren't, don't have that tutelage yet. I would love to be a producer of these stories.
Yeah. Obviously, not everyone can join this industry, and who knows if we even can. But I think what we're trying to make a point is
we'll
that
try.
There's a lot of people who really love this world of anime and manga, and a lot of us are somewhat talented enough to help out, and we really want to. So we just hope that in the coming future that it becomes more inclusive and just more welcoming for us to join that branch of storytelling.
Like, I was never, all my life I've loved novels. Like, some of my favorite stories have been The Lord of the Rings. Well, my favorite story of all time is The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all the other surrounding Middle-earth books. And of course,
we should talk about what we read, like regular books.
We should. We're not just weebs. We read novels.
We read actual words, guys.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's no pictures.
Where's the pictures?
Yeah.
But I read one of my favorite stories and worlds is George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire.
No.
All that stuff. But there was a big gap in my life where, because those stories were finished or weren't continuing because
George R. R. Martin
talking about hiatus, you know.
Yeah,
George R. R. Martin is the OG of hiatuses, but
we ain't never getting that.
Yeah,
we're gonna get Hunter x Hunter before we get the next.
We're probably gonna get a bunch of notes about how it probably should have ended, but anyway.
Yeah.
But which is very sad. But there was this long time in my life where I was like, oh man, I wish I had this series. You know, even Star Wars was absent for a long time, and I wish I had a series that was long-standing with a whole bunch with characters that you stay with for a long time, like these novels. And manga and anime came into my life, and I was like, this is what I want to do for forever, you know, while continuing to do my actual career. But this is a hobby right now that I hope eventually will become my day job. But
as all things, I feel the same with you there in terms of writing, and hopefully I'm talented enough to enter the manga spectrum too, because I would like to I write stories and have somebody else draw what I'm writing about, because it's just fun.
I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I can
being able to draw what they do.
I can draw what they do, but I think I will be able to get to the point where I'm able to help an illustrator.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's really common. At least it should be common to draw storyboards and at least being somewhat competent and useful is what you're saying. Yeah. So you don't just say can you draw this, but with this,
exactly.
Just hovering over him as he's drawing on the tablet, oh no, exactly. I like this like this. You know
and
what I mean?
It's very similar to one of my biggest idols is Dave Filoni. I love Dave Filoni. He's worked on Avatar. He's worked on Clone Wars. All my favorite shows he's worked on, and he does these sketches for his stories that the animators take and turn into something. The idea when he first was in the meeting for the first episode of The Mandalorian, he made the sketch for Din Djarin and Baby Yoda in his cradle, and the cradle stayed, his cape stayed, his weapons stayed. So all those people took it and just made it into something
cool.
a grand piece.
I would
of
be
art.
crying if I were him. I'd be like, yo, it's real.
My
boy's
real. It's real. But yeah. So we're super interested in the future of Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
Hopefully in 20 years we can look back on this episode and be like,
man,
we did do it.
Yeah.
Or we'll be like, man,
hey, remember when Shonen Jump was a magazine that existed? Watch anime or manga just fall off at that point.
Or we're like, hey, remember when media was a thing because we're in the apocalypse, because the world has ended.
This only podcast in the world is brought to you by cockroaches. They're everywhere now.
Cockroaches.
Get your nuclear bunker today. They're
everywhere now. That's great.
But I have hope for the future. You got a lot of series. The Chainsaw Man is coming back. Spy Family, Bulak, Kaiju no Bure, Ayoshimon.
Yes.
There is hope, guys. It's not over yet, and we still got.
And of course, if not, there are other.
Yeah.
We have Square Enix's mangas creating. We have Shogakukan's.
Yeah.
We have Shueisha. Shueisha? Who's the one who makes Vinland Saga and Attack on Titan? Is it Shueisha?
Kodansha.
Yeah. We
God,
have
get on Vinland Saga, guys.
Yeah,
that's good. That's still going, but that's also entering its final arc.
We'll talk about it eventually, especially when season 2 comes up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how much we love that because that's probably my favorite manga series of all time, up there with One Piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, you guys, as I said at the beginning, if you love all things anime and manga and want to stay up to date with the latest news, reports, and events coming out of Japan, the Manga Monday show is here for you to consume.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun doing this. We
have fun
doing
here.
it. Yeah, we have a lot of fun here. We would love for you guys to join our community. Comment your thoughts. If you think we're wrong, let us know, and we'll reevaluate ourselves and look in the mirror.
We
and
have
go,
gentle
"What's
souls.
wrong
Please
with
be
us?"
gentle.
Yeah. We'll be like, what's wrong with us?
I'm going to be thinking about that one comment all year.
all day. Great. All right, you guys. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next Manga Monday show. Unless, Edgar, you got something else?
Nope, that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys next week. This time for real.
This time for real. All right. Peace.
Bye.